Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Grace New from Feng Shui Serenity. And if you are listening to the Feng Shui Serenity podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, for this very first episode in 2023, I really want to share this crucial ritual, New Year ritual that I do every year. And of course, it is based on Chinese metaphysics and is to do with your destiny chart. And I'm going to share with you these 8 dates to avoid in 2023 and why. So essentially, this New Year ritual is about timing. So at the start of the new year, every one of us have this renewed motivation, ambition, goals that a lot of people have New Year resolutions. I'm not so much a fan of resolutions, but I really support if you would like to tune into your intention and have a vision for the year. And this episode will support you towards your vision. And I want to start to talk about timing because I've noticed there's many people, as soon as the bell of the New Year's Eve, if you like, click or rang, that as if this is a race, we are at the starting line and people are just racing out, rushing out. The question I have is though, do you know what direction you are running towards to? Or where are you heading? And most importantly, in this episode, we're talking about timing. Is this the right time for you to get stuck in this doing mode? Because most time, especially at the new beginning, new year, we feel this pressure. We feel that we need to rush into certain things, our goals, so we won't be left behind. And whenever we mention the word time, there is this sense of urgency associated with time. And from my personal journey, as well as this entrepreneur journey, seeing thousands of clients and reading all these charts, that I really start to understand the saying that trust the timing, not time. Time is an illusion. Time is our man-made measure to restrict us. Well, when we recognize the importance of timing, we feel calm. Our soul feels soothed. We're not in that rushing energy anymore. We're not comparing others anymore because we know that is not my time yet. My time is this. I do not go out a second more if it is not my time. We recognize that divine timing when we understand our season. And this is all to do with the Chinese philosophy, the yin and yang, the seasonality, the rhythm of nature. You're not going to collect your harvest if it is springtime, because that is the time to plant your seed. So is this the right timing for you? based on who you are. What is your essence at birth? What is your 5-year, 10-year luck pillar? And now, looking at 2023, I really want to support you based on the yearly energy, based on how the energy resonates with your personal chart. And this is where one of the most important and crucial Chinese arts is called date selection, but it is mostly overlooked. And when we practice Feng Shui or Chinese astrology or Bazi reading, that this is one of the date selection is one of the most important thing. That for some of you who worked with me, that we even choose down to the hour when to start the campaign to promote your property sale. When is a specific hour that you need to break the earth if you are building a new house? What is the right time for you to get married, get engaged, to ensure this relationship will have the best chance of harmony, longevity, and happiness? This is the date selection is all about. It's about choosing that the particular point in time where the energy is most conducive in order to produce a result, an outcome best possible. And this is where I want you to know those 8 dates are the energy that is not suitable for you to do anything significant, to launch your website, to move into a new premises for your business, or on individual level, like, to do a surgery. There is a certain things that you just do not do on those dates. And I'm going to share those 8 dates with you in a minute. But coming back on this timing, when you're starting to understand the timing, you are not so much bothered by the next person is launching the 3 course, in the 3 consecutive months. You're not having that angst within you and trying to compare with the Joneses on running the business, creating the wealth, on relationship. Because the most important question that you can ask yourself is this the best timing for me? And I also have many people come to me for relationship insights or guidance. And sometimes meeting a person is not necessarily the best thing. You want to meet this person at the right time so that the relationship can last, right? And this is where, when you have that vision I talked about, that you have this calmness, you can always come back to your chart, to this timing that anchors you. Every decision is made based on follow this intuition and divine timing. It does not mean that you just wait there. You continue to do what you are guided to do and prepare for this timing to learn, to invest. But when this divine timing hit, that's when you launch. That's when you step onto the stage and shine. Not a minute earlier, because you might not be ready. and especially not on those 8 days I'm about to share with you. Okay, so now let's see. And before I share the 8 dates, and I want to share with you the energy behind it. And those 8 dates are not what I just simply pluck out of the thin air. It's based on the Chinese calendar and the 24 segment, or in Chinese we call 节气. So the 节气 is really, as you can see, if you're watching the YouTube, that you will be able to see the slide showing you the 24 position of the earth in relation to the sun. And the 节 means the first day of the month. Okay, the qi represents the middle of the month. So we identify these 8 points where the energy is shifting and transitioning. Therefore, there is no stability within, or the quality of the qi is next to 0. Sometimes it's the void. In Feng Shui, we call this is the void. It's empty. So imagine that you're doing anything significant on a day there is no energy, meaning that you will not have any universal support. So this is where I want to very clearly share this with you, that what to avoid on what dates. And this chart is basically showing you the dividing point of the full season. As you can see, the spring commencing, winter, summer, autumn, and winter, right? And we also have the equinox and the solstice, as in the 4 points as well. Now you know this. This is based on the energy, based on the yin and yang, right? We call this in the date selection, the 4 extinct dates and 4 separation dates. So the 4 extinct dates describe the day before the new season start. As you can imagine, or from the name of this description, the energy is distinct, right? So if you are listening to the podcast, these are the 4 extinct dates. They are 3rd of February, 5th of May, 7th of August, 7th of November. For the 4 separation dates, they are 20th of March, 20th of June, 22nd of September, 21st of December. They are the day before the solstice and equinox, if you can recognize that. So this is a ritual that I literally do first thing in the new year, that I mark in my calendar throughout the year. I cross off these 8 days that I do not have any appointments. I do not go on Feng Shui on-site consultation. I do not do any sessions. These are the times it's best to reserve for yourself to have a low-key day and do anything that nourishes you. Connect with nature, do a bushwalk, anything that grounds you, so that you can really ride with this energy flow. And the next slides I'm showing you are the activities that you should avoid doing on those 8 days. For example, some of them I've already mentioned: getting married, or getting engaged. These are major events. And I also do date selection for the people who want to have their wedding in a day that is weather permitting. So especially these days in Sydney summer, there is so much rain. And last year, and I remember this one client was getting married during this time, and we picked this particular day based on the theory of date selection, the technique. And we picked this one day that is blue sky. The day before was a heavy rain. The day after was a heavy rain. And we just picked that perfect time. And this is where that using the date selection technique, that you can do that. Now, coming back to these 8 days where that at least now you know that what days you should not be selecting, and you should not be doing anything such as moving into a new home, moving into a new business premises, selling your property, right? Opening a store, not a good start. If you open a store on a day that is considered void, there is no energy, probably you won't have much foot traffic. Not signing a major contract. If you're doing a home renovation or building a house, not on those 8 days. But of course, in order to best support you, we usually that I will look at your property facing, or I'll look at your personal destiny chart, so we can actually select an auspicious day. But this episode is really, I want to share this to make sure that you do not really planning anything on those 8 days, right? And launching a new product is also a no-no. Or if you're launching a website, if you're publishing a book, if you go on to any public exposure, media, interview, speech, having a concert, not a great time, right? Because things can be very unpredictable. Things can happen, especially when it comes to building a house. This is really huge repercussions in terms of time and money, especially now building cost is just skyrocketed, that you really do not want your home to be kind of delayed, and or having that really that your budget is out of the window. And this is where it is important to know what is the best timing. And from the health perspective, surgery or any kind of health procedures, we would also choose a good time to have your best supported. Now, this, of course, is for 2023. So these 8 days are for 2023 only, and it applies to every one of you who are watching this, YouTube or listen to the podcast, and regardless what your destiny chart is. And that is the first step. But of course, if you want to go one step further, that we now know what to avoid, but now we want to know what actually we can choose. We can make a choice to best support our endeavors, right? And this is where your destiny chart will coming in, as I mentioned, that where we trust the timing, not time. Because in the destiny reading, for any of you who have done this with me, I always mention the 5 elements. I always mention your season of birth, because your season determines what is your ideal timing. This is also coming back to the yin and yang. That's why the yin and yang symbol there is the energy is always ever changing. There is no person can forever produce and not without a break or a rest. Think of the apple tree. If each year the apple tree can only produce or normally produce 30 apples, and if we're trying to push, which is kind of the sentiment these days, that we push ourselves so hard, we're trying to get 60 apples out of this tree, what would happen? How long this tree is going to sustain? So you see, timing is not only gives you the high likelihood and propensity for success, but it is also sustaining you in the most nourishing and, intuitive way that you can maintain your essence. You're not being distracted by what is happening out there. You're not being forced to produce. And of course, if you're natural, you have this resilience, you have this capacity to produce 60 apples a year. Go for and do it. But most of us doing what we do, feeling stretched, right? Feeling, we have to, because this is what we are expected to do. And this is the sentiment. This is where at the start of the year, a lot of people feel quite heavy as well. And I'm hoping that this episode will actually help you to relieve this heaviness, right? Feel light, knowing that this time you don't have to do this because this is not your time. What you need to do is to reserve your energy. And this is what we talked about, the energy, close off the energy leaks. Because if we know there is a more productive timing for us to launch this project in order to have the best possible result, wouldn't that be the most efficient time to use our energy? And why wouldn't we want to know what can make, that what we're trying to achieve the easiest and the most effortless way? And this is where the timing comes in. And apart from the annual energy, this is where if you really intend to go one level deeper, this is where we're looking into our destiny chart to see what is our micro universe is telling us. I call it the micro universe. And this is based on your chart. Every one of you in your destiny chart, you will see the luck pillars, right? Your 5 and 10-year luck pillars. Each of these elements is showing you what is the right time to do what. Some people want to launch their new business. Some people want to transition from their day job into full-time of what they've been enjoying to do, where they believe that is their life purpose, to start their new business. The question is this the right time for you to take the plunge? Right? Have you had enough preparation for you? And for some people, it's definitely the right time. For some people, it is only fear. They've been waiting for decades and decades, and it is only fear and anxiety stopping them. You also don't want to miss this window of opportunity if this is a time for you to step out. And you believe, okay, I maybe need another degree in order for me to do this business. But maybe that is a fear talking. Because when you're looking at your destiny chart, looking at your 5-year, 10-year luck pillar, it clearly pinpoints you the timing when you need to do that. For example, if you have indirect wealth element showing up in the year or in your 5-year luck pillar, 10-year luck pillar, that is definitely a sign to do with entrepreneurship, right? You do not want to wait anymore. You do not need to learn anymore because the luck pillar is not showing the resource element. If the resource element is showing up, maybe that's a sign that you might need to prepare a little bit more. So you will, be able to hold whatever you intend to do. But if it is the indirect wealth showing up, time for you to shine. If it is what we call the hurting officer showing up, it is definitely the time for you to grab people's attention, right? When we talked about the year of the rabbit, many of you will have the attention star in your destiny chart. Time to step into the spotlight. Time to step into the seat. There's 8 seat star there. You need to step onto it. Do something about it. And this is where your destiny chart will give you so much visibility. Now, with this level of detail, I have a specific program coming out, and it is my signature program called Wealth Alchemy. And the next enrollment is in late January, is teaching you all of this. The focus is going to be wealth creation, but it is going to teach you how to be in the right place at the right time. So it not only help you to pinpoint the timing, but also teaches you what is the right place, what is the domain that you own. That is your zone of genius. That is your gift and talent and superpowers, is not one of the many, but the one. And mind you, being the one is not just being handed you this silver platter. Sometimes you don't even know you're holding this diamond. It might lay dormant. It is hidden in your destiny chart, in the hidden stem. This is where we need activation. Activation means being revealed. Dust off the soil of the diamond you've been holding all your life. Some people already feel the inkling. That's why they're showing up. They're reaching out to do the 2023 annual destiny activation, right? And yesterday I was doing this quite interesting chart that this lady, and she just know that this business, she's selling her business and she is stepping into a new domain, new area, new industry that she has always been wanting to do. So many of you holds that desire. Don't let it die, because it can serve the world. It can heal others. And this is when it comes to destiny reading or learning about your destiny chart. It's not just about fortune telling. It's a healing art. To me, my journey, this is a healing journey. To know who we are, to release those judgments towards others, towards ourselves, to have that fulfillment and satisfaction. And yes, I'll have more information. I can talk so much about this, but I want to end this episode to say that trust the timing, not time. And if you are interested in the wealth alchemy this round, I am going to adding in a new layer because I have never launched a wealth alchemy course around or coincide with a Chinese New Year. And I really want our group sessions and the teachings will be more in terms of the 2023 guidance for you. So for all the students that I want to make sure that you know how you move in accordance with the 2023 energy flow, when to do what, so that you're fully anchored, you have this confidence, your journey is easy, and let's allow it. And let's allow our journey to be easy and at the same time abundant. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.